Hey everybody, welcome to the EBFRD Podcast. Today my guest is J.A. Bachochin. Alright, I'm gonna call him. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, good. Trevor, right?
Yes. And your last name is Bachochin, correct?
That is correct.
Alright. So,
I seem to have an echo.
yeah,
So if it's,
I do it from my basement. That's probably why. Anyway, it doesn't really sound that bad in the podcast. So,
Alright, I trust it.
alright. So, what is your most recent Bigfoot story from somebody else or from you?
Well, I'd have to say it's from me. As I was out in the kennel, let's see, about the end of July. And on our way out, we heard the most, it was a real loud yelp, let's say. Something that you might hear on maybe Finding Bigfoot or some of those shows that do the calls, but
Yeah.
this was about 11 p.m. at night,
Okay.
and it lasted for about 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Can you give a demonstration of it or?
Well, yeah, I don't know if I could really do like a roar or anything like that, but it was not like a howl of a coyote or a wolf, but it was, I really don't know if I could really do it, but it was just kind of like real loud for 5 seconds, real big lungs on this thing, whatever it was. I can only assume, with all the research I've done out there, that it's Sasquatch.
So, what demonstration you give? I could probably I might be able to make it a tiny bit. 1 second. Ah! Like that? Or deeper?
I was gonna say a little deeper.
Yeah, I can't go that deep.
Think of a siren in like a town, like at noon or something, when a siren goes off.
Oh yeah, like a tornado siren.
Almost
Yeah.
that type of tone. And it was probably a good mile away from us, so my recording device was not able. It did pick it up. You gotta really listen for it, but we really heard it with our own ears when it happened.
Okay. So, do you happen to have have you ever been in like a night investigation or something?
Oh, that's all we do practically.
All right. What's your group that you're part of called?
I really don't have a group. I'm a solo. I don't like to call myself a researcher, but I investigate, research, pretty much as myself. But I do go out with friends who share the same passion I do.
All right. That was a pretty cool thing right there. You said you don't really belong to a group, but yeah. I mean, I belong to a group. It's called the Eskimo Bigfoot Research Department. I don't know. I probably told you that already.
You did?
Yep. Okay, so one thing I find funny is that almost every Bigfooter I know has woods behind their house. Like my friend Rich, Jim Sherman, also known as Lord Cripid, and now I hear you have one too. You have wood behind your house, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm still in a subdivision. I have to travel to the Kettle Moraine, which is in the southern part of Wisconsin. Goes through Wisconsin, obviously, and it's like over 55,000 square acres. So that's kind of where I go when I go to do research. However, I'm really close also by Bray Road, which is the infamous Bray Road, the Beast of Bray Road in Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And It's pretty intriguing stuff because I drive by that road all the time, and there's a lot of weirdness going on up there.
Okay. So, everybody on the Skimo Bigfoot Research Department that is listening to us right now, they probably all know of, from my last podcast, of what my Bigfoot story was. I have one, and that's it. Though, there actually was a BFRO investigation, and it was right behind my house, is what I was told. And there was like a pretty, if it's a BFRO one, I'm pretty sure that it's pretty accurate then.
BFRO they're generally pretty good.
Yeah. Though I am probably the one of the or just the newest research department for Bigfoot.
That's great.
All right. So, do you happen to know Charlie Raymond?
I do not.
All right. Because I was gonna have him on the show sometime. I'm not sure when. But next week, Ken Gerhard, I think, might be on. I'm not sure. He might be.
Well, that's good. Ken's a great guy. I'll be speaking with him. Well, not with him. He'll be up at the Van Meter Visitor Festival at the end of September in Van Meter, Iowa. So I'll be speaking up there as well.
Oh, cool. So, how long have you been in Bigfoot research?
Well, honestly, I gotta say, as you can tell, I'm definitely older. I'm 54 years old, and I wasn't really a Bigfoot believer my whole life. I've seen the Patterson Gimlin film. I've heard of people researching Bigfoot, and I was always under that impression that it was a unicorn or a leprechaun or a fairy. I really didn't believe in Bigfoot, believe it or not. I believed in ghosts and UFOs, the different fringe high strangeness in the world, but Bigfoot, no, not even. A dog man, yes. Bigfoot, no. I don't know why. I kept thinking there's too many researchers out there, and how come we just get blurry photos? Why haven't we found a body? All these questions people ask that it's just a legend. But it wasn't until 2013 that I was out in the woods and with my paranormal team at the time, which we're not together anymore, and we were out in the woods, and it's October 19th, 2013, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and we heard this vocal that kind of changed the way I looked at the woods, because I was never an outback jack. I wasn't a big woodsman or anything, but we could not find that source sound that we heard and caught on audio, and till this time, it almost sounded like it was human, kind of primate-ish, and it was very unique, and that kind of had me go back, because that's what I do. I hunt the truth. I'm not going out there trying to prove Bigfoot's real. More, I'm trying to debunk it before trying to prove it. And that's what kind of started me looking into the kettle moraine for Bigfoot. And ever since I've been doing that, I've come across a lot of weird, Bigfoot type behavior out there. So I'd love to say that I've been doing this for 50 years, but I haven't. And that's the other part of being a researcher, is it really doesn't matter how old you are. I think it's great that you're starting. You're what? You're 13?
Yeah.
And that's great, starting it at that age, back when I was 13 years old, it was nothing but arcades and girls and getting rides to the malls, different time back then. But I think it's great that you're starting now.
Yeah. Though the stuff you just said, I mean, except for the arcade part and the mall, the girls, yeah, of course. I'm a teenager. Of course I'm into that stuff. But the Skimo Bigfoot Research Department is literally probably the smallest, I gotta say, organization in the in the Bigfoot, community, because it's only pretty much me and my grandpa, nobody else, as of right now.
And that's great. I really wish that maybe I would have formed a team to have more people to go out with and do more footwork. But I found after having my paranormal team back in the 2000s, that it's kind of hard because I almost felt like I was babysitting a bunch of adults, and it gets hard because not everybody wants to do what you want to do. So after that team kind of broke up in 2014, I remained solo, but which is good because I'm able to focus on what I can do at my time and really focus on not just ghosts or UFOs or anything like that, but actually getting out into the woods, boots to ground. I love being out in the woods now.
All right. Let's see. I have never done that investigation because I've only been in the Bigfoot stuff for about 2 years, and I, haven't really done as much stuff as I wish I could have because I hate to say this, but I've been busy doing stuff. So the funniest thing I think is that about a year ago I did a Bigfoot expedition, and then it said 1 year later, and now I'm starting the podcast stuff. Though I'm gonna get into the Bigfooting again soon, but I'm just trying to find the perfect spot to do it, and with school starting up again, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's the one thing people have always asked me is, when you do this and you start going down this rabbit hole, it becomes an obsession. And it's really good to find the balance in life, whether you're going back to school or in my case, I've got my own kids, my wife, my job, my friends. You've got to put your obsession and find that balance. But it's good to go out. And the one thing I always tell people is, this is not what we're doing it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's something that you'll do your whole life. So find your balance, and once you get out there, you're contributing to hunting the truth, finding out what these things are.
Yeah. So yeah, me personally, I love the Bigfooting stuff. It's just that nobody else really that I am friends with except for probably Ken, Charlie, Rich, and all them. Those are the only friends I have that actually do Bigfooting. They're the ones I do on my other channel, my main channel on YouTube. We do videos and stuff, but that's what I do with my other friends. This right here is Bigfooting, so it's more, it's sort of fun. Also, the videos are fun too, but I'm actually working on I'm working on a movie in between the podcasts. So, and then I'm gonna start Bigfooting and stuff because the movie it's a movie, so it's kind of hard to make. So, and the actors in it are the guy that I go Bigfooting with, my grandpa.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's there's a lot going on. As you know, I do have a documentary on Amazon Prime called Finding Jay, and that was released in July of 2019. It's free to watch on Prime. It's a 2-hour-long documentary. I didn't think I would be making any more. I figured I would just tell my story, put the facts out. But right now I'm currently working on the follow-up to that for Finding Jay 2, Beyond the Kettle. And I know what you're going through when you're talking about making a movie. Now, I don't really have actors or anything like that because mine's more of a documentary. So I'm interviewing people using the footage I have out in the field. and just trying to present it out there, just trying to let people make up their own minds of what it is, not telling them it's Bigfoot or Dogman or anything strange. But if it's something I can't figure out when I'm out there, it's worth putting out there for other people, you know?
Cool. Yeah. Though, I'm wondering, what exactly do you do in your documentary? Because I haven't watched the documentary yet. Or I just want to know what you actually do in your documentaries.
Well, in my documentary, I have about 5 years of different video or audio capture or photos, and so pretty much I introduce myself in it and kind of show you what the kettle is, where it is in Wisconsin, and during all my adventures out there, just to be able to say I've had stones thrown at me from the middle of nowhere, and one landed right by my leg, and I caught that on tape. And you know, a lot of people can say there's just somebody out there just throwing rocks at you, but at the same time, it's also construed as Bigfoot behavior. So I have like a lot of different actual video evidence of weird things that's in my film. So there's a lot of people talking about it, actual footage of us being out there and the weird things that happen to us. So it's definitely pretty cool. Something worth to check out.
All right. So, I'm trying to get this podcast to 30 minutes, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that because usually I don't really write the podcasts because nobody really writes podcasts. They just say what's off the top of their head.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just trying to think of stuff while you're talking, and I want to be able to hear you, because I don't want to be rude. I'm just trying to hear you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You tell me. I could talk forever. If you wanted to know more, I've got a website, jbachochin.com, where I am posting pictures and news and everything like that. I'm on Facebook, TikTok. I think that's it. I think I dropped all the other social medias.
You don't do YouTube?
But yeah, it's an obsession of mine. I get nothing but, it seems like, gifts from my kids and family and friends of Bigfoot t-shirts and hats and merchandise, and I just have this wall full of all these little knick-knack gifts where I can't really expand them anymore. But I do. I love this subject, and it's fascinating to me, and I'm really hoping to learn more. I don't want to be the first one to do it. I want to be able to contribute just like everybody's doing. I don't think anybody's really in this field to really get famous, get rich. That's never been my intentions. And it's great that you're doing it at such a young age. My son is 13 and a half.
Yeah.
He's kind of just, kind of grown up with Bigfoot because, well, he had no choice. I'm his dad. I'd take him out there. Actually, he's in the film too, to where a stone was thrown at us, and actually he saw a dark figure walking in the woods, and I actually captured some sort of image in the woods. It's really bizarre. It's in the documentary.
Dang.
But it's definitely really cool to check out.
So was your son born in 2008?
Yes, he was, 2008.
Yeah, I literally only have, I only have about 27 days until I'm 14.
Oh, okay. So you're older than him by a couple months, yeah.
But one of the presents I want for my birthday actually is my grandpa to go Bigfooting with me. That's one of the things.
That's cool.
You want to actually do that because if I can get something on my birthday, it'd be great. But I'm probably not going to.
You don't have to say where you live, obviously, but what part of the country are you in?
Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got the dog man there.
Yep. We got Dogman, we got Bigfoot. We have also another legend. I'm not sure what it was, but it's also here in Michigan. And
Mothman?
Maybe, because I don't like moths at all. So I hope I don't see Mothman.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like where are all these weird cryptid creatures coming from? It's not like you can look out your window, and see a 20-foot thunderbird soaring around in the sky like a dinosaur, but people have seen them.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I remember something I did not mention in my podcast last week because it just recently happened, actually.
Yeah.
Your window thing reminded me of it, actually. So, as I told you, I live near Woodland, and there's a BFRO Bigfoot sighting back there. Alright, so it was about 4 a.m., I think. I got up to get a drink because I was thirsty and I didn't have anything else to drink. So I went to the fridge to get something to drink. And I was going to look outside because I usually see this 8-point buck outside. But I didn't see the 8-point buck that time. I saw something moving in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, that's just it. Then that's when you get on, well, obviously you live there, but you get on Google Earth, see what's behind you, see where the woods could be, look for any type of streams or rivers that are close by to the woods.
And when I saw that figure,
not that I have.
When I saw that figure, I ran back to my bedroom, grabbed my camera, and I was starting to film a Bigfoot video, actually. And I was saying, guys, you never believe what I just saw in my backyard. I walked out to the window, and it was gone. So I didn't get it.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard of people seeing a creature, a Bigfoot creature, and either they go down to get their phone and they take their eyes off the subject out there, and by the time they look up, whether it was a second or 2 seconds, it's gone. That's how fast they move. Another instance that happened to me in 2016 with my youngest daughter. She was 4 years old at the time, and I took her on an afternoon hike, and she was little, and we didn't go for a long hike. And these woods are full of hikers and whatever, but it was February, and it wasn't cold out, but there was some ice on the ground, and she was pretending to ice skate, and we kind of were only out for about 45 minutes. We're walking back to the car. She's ice skating around my legs. I'm just kind of looking around, and all of a sudden this auburn shape catches my eye, like at about my 2 o'clock. And as I look over, all I saw was a blur of auburn color, just jet, almost as if you were trying to, smack a fly with a fly swatter, but they move so fast.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw. And that's enough to freak anybody out, because I don't care if people go out with guns and they think they're John Rambo or whatever out there, but if these things move that quick, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
So it's some pretty terrifying stuff out there, but you have to be safe. I always say, with my hikes, I've got 3 rules. Number 1, safety first. No matter what you do, always hike with somebody. Don't go hiking alone, and always let people know your whereabouts.
Yeah.
Just trust somebody and text them where you're at, your GPS, and then again, know your surroundings. If you're hiking around your house and you kind of know the lay of the land back there, you kind of know the surroundings, but don't jump over to Wisconsin in some big woods and just start going if you don't know, where everything's at.
Yeah. I was
But of course, number 3, you got to have fun doing this, because people laugh at us anyway.
Yeah, true. But one thing I heard on finding Bigfoot, though I can't say the exact words that Bobo said, but I can narrow it down to my level. He said that Bigfoot's intentions are not to hurt you; they're just to scare your shadow right off you.
Well, it's a perfect way to say it because people ask me all the time what would happen if I've seen one. And I think that they're always watching me when I'm out there. But if they were really dangerous, I would think that maybe I wouldn't be alive talking to you right now, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that they're there to do their thing. And if they don't want you around, yeah, they probably are out there just to scare you.
Yeah. So we got about 5 minutes. I have about 5 minutes left to be able to talk in the podcast.
Okay.
And technically we only have 4 minutes to talk for now. Because at the end of the podcast I explain what we did in the podcast.
Okay.
So how about you can tell one more story of Bigfoot that you have encountered.
Okay, well, excuse me. I had a little cough there. I was out with Linda Godfrey in 2014, and we were walking. She's the author of The Beast of Bray Road here in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And her and I were researching and walking and doing a day hike together. And it was really quiet. Just think of your average day hike. When you're not thinking about Bigfoot or cryptids or anything. And we're out there just looking around, and she thought, you know what, the primates, the gorillas, like to shake trees for being territorial. So she thought it was a good idea to find a small tree, a small sapling, and give it a little shake. And she did. She's older, and she shook it pretty hard, but she said, why don't you try it, Jay? You're bigger, you're stronger. So I found another sapling, and I shook this thing, and I made the sounds of a silverback gorilla. I was going crazy. It was awesome. And I was shaking the tree, and I had a cap on and my sunglasses on top, and let's keep my head down just because it was September. I didn't want a branch to fall into my eye or whatever. And all of a sudden I felt this pain on the side of my head, on my left side of my head. And I was looking down, and I thought maybe a pine cone fell, but this was an oak. There was no pines even around there. And when I was done, I went down to pick up that little pine cone, but it was like featherweight. It weighed nothing. And the only thing that we could think of, because it left a bump on my head, is I was hit with a rock from out in the woods by shaking the tree. And, it was very interesting. Did we ever find the rock? No, but at the same time, I was being overly aggressive. And needless to say, that's how come I don't shake trees anymore, and that's why I don't do yells anymore. I let them find me. That's the whole basis behind my documentary, Finding Jay, is that I don't think that we will ever find Bigfoot, but Bigfoot will find us. That's how come I don't go out in camo and get all woodsy and everything. I wear bright colors. I want to be found. And I really think that's the approach that sometimes we need to take when we're out there.
All right.
Yeah.
So why did you call your documentary Finding Jay?
Well, for that reason, because whenever I was out, and while everybody's out, we always seem to come up empty with really not being able to find Bigfoot. We might get calls or maybe a thermal image, but we never come face to face with him. And I always thought, you know what, just like I was mentioning, is that what if we can never find Bigfoot? But if we're out there enough, if we're boots to ground out there, that Bigfoot will eventually find us. So it could be called Finding Jay, or Finding Trevor, or Finding Ken. It could be named anything. As long as we're out there, Bigfoot will find us if we're patient.
All right.
That's what I believe.
Okay. So with that all being said, we are reaching the end of the podcast. So let's recap what we talked about in the podcast. So first, we talked about your latest Bigfoot encounter, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then we talked about my latest Bigfoot, I would say, encounter was that yell.
Yes. So, with that being said, to all of you that were watching the podcast, thank you so much for watching. And hope to see you guys soon. Bye, guys.